I'm not lying here, guys.
Craig B in the chat said, Night Court, great show. We are old.
Yes! Night Court was a great show. By the way, you can probably watch reruns of it on Peacock. There you go.
What's on tap
Charlie Chaplin in it?
is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Sundays are easy to enjoy when they're full of football and the fridge is filled with beer. We're going to make it even easier for you by getting to these questions. The first one from Kyle Cabrario. Flex question, Chuba Hubbard or George Pickens? Defensive opposition makes me question Chuba. Appreciate all of you. Hashtag show the mankles.
Show them ankles.
I thought you were like calling them man ankles.
Yeah, no. Show them ankles. Todd Zeal would have read that correctly. I get the question. I get the question because Hubbard has a high floor.
Josh Allen
and
has
Pickens,
a chance.
Yeah.
Oh, man. God.
And it's true, though. Josh Allen does have a chance. Look, I'm going with Pickens. The answer is I'm going with Pickens here. I get the question. I get the concern. And Hubbard is the floor play, but the concern is the Panthers' offensive line, both Hunt and Corbett went on IR this year, so it's a banged up offensive line. Falcons been a top 10 run defense so far this year. And then you think about George Pickens going against this Bears defense that, through 2 games, they've allowed the most touchdowns to wide receivers. Juwan Johnson, the Bears' top corner, he's going to miss this game. This is one of the highest over-unders on the slate. I think Dak Prescott has a monster game. I actually think it's a shootout between the 2 teams, and so I think Pickens gets deep for 1. He's my wide receiver 22 this week. It's more of a riskier play. It's more risk-reward than Hubbard, who has a floor, but I think in that particular case, I would go with George Pickens, and as requested, they're them ankles. Actually, hang on, my sock's a little too high.
Jay, give a comment on George Pickens. Get us out of here.
There you go, baby. There you go. That's for you, baby.
Yeah. Well, it's particularly after that, I disagree. I'm going Chuba Hubbard. The Chubler. Yeah. He's been down 20-3 at halftime his first 2 games. I don't think the Falcons are going to definitely do that. The thing is with Pickens is that game, the total starts with a 5, which is good. That's what you like.
Yep.
There will be explosives down the field available against a pretty barren Bears secondary. There's not a lot going on there. They were absolutely roasted by the Lions. I think with Chuba Hubbard, it's just how much do you believe that the Panthers are actually this bad? Are they actually like the worst team?
They might be.
Yeah, they could be.
Dave Canales could not be the guy.
Yeah, I kind of leaned towards him not being the guy because I thought that Tampa's offense got better when he left. But Chuba Hubbard's still going to get a lot of work. But I think, to your point, if you want ceiling, Pickens. If you want floor, Chubler.
Regular number 2 on our list here as we get through more questions from the regular. This is Oscar asking for half PPR. Elikayo Manor, of course, Jameson Williams, Romeo Doubs, or Travion Henderson. Got a lot of Travion Henderson questions.
Yeah, I'm going with Jameson Williams here. We've talked a lot about that Detroit Ravens game on Monday night. 52.5 over under. We expect a ton of fantasy points. Ravens have struggled against. Again, it's skewed. It's only 2 games, and it's skewed by that crazy Bills game in Week 1. But still, only one team has given up more passing yards this season than the Baltimore Ravens. I thought Jameson Williams looked good last week. I thought the Lions' offense came back. So of all those other guys, I just feel like, to me, Jameson Williams is the guy that I would play there. It's interesting though. You said regular number 2, which I thought that was the name of the guy.
Nope.
I like the idea of ranking the regulars, though. I like the regulars, giving themselves a number and ranking themselves, or we should do it on a weekly basis.
The chat kind of does it based on your activity. There'll be like a little crown that says number 1, number 2.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So they get like a nice little logo next to their username in the chat. The more they interact with the chat.
Steven, let's do a leaderboard next week.
Sure.
Let's go through and figure out who's got the.
A couple jump to mind. We had Stuntman Chuck at the top of the show. Julio, think you are.
Yeah.
Johnny Dangerly.
Johnny Dangerly.
The names are starting to really.
Yeah, they're starting to.
Tej.
Tej is always in there. Yep.
Tej is in there. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right.
I agree on Jameson Williams. I do think, though, that the best wide receiver in Tennessee so far has been Elikayo Manor.
Yep.
Calvin Ridley does not look at the races at all, and I think that eventually that will become he will become the lead guy in that passing game, as Connor has said previously.
I do agree, but for this week, I'm going with Jameson Williams.
Yep, agreed.
But you've said Elikayo Manor needs to be picked up in all leagues, and you've been saying that for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yep.
Our last question from Jillian Flores. Need a flex in PPR. Isaiah Pacheco, Tyrone Tracy, or Juwan Johnson?
I got to stop with all the Juwan Johnson questions. I feel like this is base.
It's crazy. I think Pacheco, again, it's sort of like the Hubbard Pickens question.
Who are you gonna go
Pacheco has the best chance at a touchdown. Pacheco, it's definitely not Tyrone Tracy. No, but that's what I'm saying. Pacheco has the best got a chance at touchdown. I think Pacheco is probably your floor play. But I kind of like Juwan Johnson in this one.
Yeah,
Juwan Johnson, I mean, like, honestly, seriously, he's been a top 3 fantasy tight end.
Yep.
The Saints are chucking it all over. They're at Seattle. They're going to be down.
Was he a member of Live and In on the Cock 2 years ago?
Yes, he was. He has a title. He's part of a back-to-back championship the same way that Todd Zeal is. So, yeah, Pacheco's the floor play. Juwan Johnson is the risk-reward play. So it sort of depends on what you're looking for from that spot.
Who would you rather have, Juwan Johnson or T.J. Hawkinson rest of the season, honestly?
Scary that it's a real question.
It's a legit question. I'm probably still going Hawkinson, but, man, it's
Saints
close.
have got the better quarterback so far.
At the moment, I agree
Carson
with
Wentz is going to bring Hawk back to life.
I agree with that.
McCarthy's sunk a lot of that offense,
Yeah.
more than people even realize somehow.
Yes, sir.
That'll do it for What's on Tap, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're taking one more break, one more back. You know what time of the week it is. Jay and I have our pickup lines for Matthew.
By the way, no team's allowed more fantasy points to tight ends than the Seattle Seahawks, giving more credence to my Juwan Johnson call. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.